And we're live. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Second Take podcast. This is the first one that we're filming in a couple months because GW had a really long winter break and we had finals. But we're really happy to be back. I'm joined today by the other SBA Vice President, Mark Machado, Max Bordero, and Bruno Sanchez Pavone. And today we're doing a soccer episode specifically focused on international soccer. So I guess the really big topic at hand right now is who's going to be the next manager slash coach of Barcelona and Liverpool. So do you guys have any predictions on who that's going to be or anybody that you particularly want to see in those positions? Mark, I guess you can go first.
Yeah, so obviously big news this week coming out with Jurgen Klopp leaving Liverpool after what has it been, 9 seasons, something like that, something crazy. Super successful run at the helm of Liverpool. In terms of predictions for next Liverpool manager, I'm going to keep it German. I think it's going to be either Hansi Flick or Julian Nagelsmann. Important to remember that Nagelsmann signed with Germany through the end of the 2024 Euros. So at the end of the summer, theoretically, he's going to be on the market. And I think any big club, and we could talk about Barcelona as well, but I think any big club would be smart to take him. I still, even after he was fired by Bayern, I think I rate him extremely highly. I think he's one of the best coaches in the world, and I think Liverpool would be smart to snatch him up. Bruno, Max, you have any thoughts?
Max, you want to go ahead
Yeah,
first?
no, I was gonna say I've been reading. So Liverpool also decided is going to part ways with one of their directors. I think his name is Jörg Schmadtke. He's he was Klopp's partner in crime. They're the reason that they were so successful, and he's also leaving at the end of the season. And Liverpool is looking first to restructure their backroom organization before they find a coach, kind of to make sure that they have a clear vision before they hire a manager and try not to do too much all at once. So I think it could potentially be. I think it depends more on who they're hiring in the back room before they focus on the coach. But Xabi Alonso's been mentioned. Roberto De Zerbi's been mentioned. Lots of young up and coming coaches. But there's also lots of experienced coaches on the market. Jose Mourinho just got fired by Roma. Who knows if he'll take a Liverpool job, but Antonio Conte is also on the market. So there's a lot of options for Liverpool this summer.
Yeah. I think Klopp also said that he was taking a year off from coaching, so I guess that might rule him out for Barcelona. Laporta, the Barca's president, had said that Rafa Marquez, who's coaching the B team, would be a candidate if Xavi were to leave. So that's kind of like what they did with Guardiola. They brought him in from the B team, and obviously Guardiola is once in a generation. But I think with the whole financial situation at Barcelona, that might be their best bet, unfortunately. But again, I don't think Mourinho would go for a job like Xabi Alonso. Maybe De Zerbi, but I think Rafa Marquez could be their best bet going forward.
I'm interested if we could touch on Xabi Alonso for a second, because I know everyone's talking about him, and I know he's made it clear that at some point in his career he'd like to coach Liverpool, he'd like to coach Real Madrid, like to coach Bayern, given those are the three clubs he played for primarily. So you all see him leaving Leverkusen at the end of this season, and they still haven't lost a game, right, in Bundesliga.
No, I literally checked today. They haven't lost a single game in the Bundesliga. It's insane.
Unbelievable.
I don't think they've lost a game this entire season.
Yeah,
I think they've drawn a couple here and there, but I don't think they've lost a game yet this season. Yeah.
So do we see him going anywhere? Do we see him staying? What are our thoughts on Xabi Alonso as a manager?
Did Ancelotti confirm he was staying at Real Madrid? Because there was that whole rumor with him going to Brazil. Yeah, so
he signed a new deal. He just signed a new deal like a couple weeks ago. I think Xabi Alonso. I don't know. It's kind of a gamble because he's doing really well right now, but this could be just like perfect storm. And like if he stays another season at Leverkusen, things might not go so well. But then if he moves, it might be too early for another big job, and he might not be able to handle the pressure of like a Real Madrid or a Liverpool or a Bayern
Yeah.
because there's no expectations for him at Leverkusen, so he's overachieving. There weren't
Mhm.
as many eyes on him when he was starting his project, but if he moves to a big club, everyone's going to be watching, and
Yeah.
everything he does is going to be scrutinized. And he makes a couple mistakes, and that could be the end of it.
Yeah. Kind of the thing with Xavi, where I think it was too soon to Barcelona. I think it was good as an interim, like he won the league and the Super Cup last year, but just wasn't experienced to be in like that role and like that big of a club, even with like, you know, the era of post Messi and post Suarez and all of those, club legends. I think it was just like too, like the shoes were too big to fill. So ultimately it didn't work out.
I
I
also want
think
to. Oh, no, go ahead, Mark.
no, all you.
I just wanted to ask you guys what you think of them announcing their departure so early. Because most, like in the past, most managers will wait until like a month before the season ends, or once
Mhm.
like the major part of the season is done, once they've either won or made sure or like ensured that they're not going to win any titles. Like that's when they announce that they're leaving, and to like kind of put pressure. Because right now, I don't know, it's January. There's 6 months left in the season. I don't know. It kind of feels like both Liverpool and Barcelona could potentially just derail because they have this. Just there's the uncertainty about the manager for next season, and I don't know. I'm just curious what you guys think about the announcements being so early in the season.
Yeah, I mean it definitely hurts the clubs, but I think I saw like an article or something about Klopp earlier this week saying he just like couldn't do it anymore. Like I think he had some mental health stuff or like some personal stuff going on in his life, and he just said he had to step away like right now, and he wanted to like stay in a few more months, but he just had to go away right now. In terms of like how the clubs are going to handle it though, it's losing them at this time is just so tough. Like I think it's really going to affect them. Like they can probably get it together. They have enough time to get their stuff together and to get reorganized, but losing such like relevant, and it's not like you're losing like bottom tier managers here. Like these guys are like top of cream of the crop, like best guys out there. So like it's definitely gonna
Yeah.
affect them a lot.
I was more curious just because like Klopp had made the decision in November and there was nothing in the media, nothing being reported for the longest time. I was
Yeah.
just curious why like he wouldn't have waited a few more months if he already knew he was leaving. Why announce it so early?
Yeah. And like, for example, with Xavi, usually when they announce it, like, I mean, if they've been at the club for a long time, I guess for a club it makes sense. But Xavi, like usually when you quit on the spot. Like that's your last game. And he's like, no, I'm stepping down at the end of the season, like in June. So that was a little weird that he would like announce that prematurely. Usually like they just quit on the spot. But
Yeah, I think it's either going to be a massive distraction or it's going to be a motivation. I think even this morning, right, Liverpool's game, like I opened Twitter after waking up and it's all videos of Klopp and they're singing "You'll Never Walk Alone," right? So I think it's going to be definitely a big narrative as the season closes. How do these clubs do? Again, are they distracted? Does it kind of derail their season, as you were alluding to, Max, or does it serve as motivation? Because what also like you see Gavi posting right messages of support for
yeah,
Gavi. So it'll be interesting to see do the players rally behind them, try to give them a deserving send off, or do they kind of crumble under all the attention, all the pressure?
I think also I don't know. Liverpool Klopp's departure was very like pre-planned. There was a way to do it. Xavi's felt kind of like on the fly. Like he lost the game and he was like, "That's it, I'm done." Like I'll finish the season, but I'm done. It didn't feel like I don't know. I feel like Barcelona probably weren't prepared for that. They mean they were, probably in
yeah,
talks because the season hasn't been going so great. But I think the announcement was kind of just like off the fly. He just did it in like a
yeah,
post-match press conference.
yeah. And I mean, the last like week and a half, 2 weeks have been like bad for Barcelona.